Welcome to today's explainer. We're going to play drama detective to completely master the complex mechanics of cause, effect, and character motivation on stage. If you've ever watched a play, read a script, or honestly, even just watched an argument unfold in real life and wondered, how on earth did we get here? Well, you're already thinking like a playwright. Today, we're breaking down exactly how events and motivations drive a narrative forward.
Here is our roadmap for today's investigation. We'll look at causes, effects, and motives, explore a two-scene model, trace the chain reaction, unpack character motives, and wrap up with some checks, a recap, and a transfer task.
All right, part 1, causes, effects, and motives. We're building the very foundations of drama here. If you take a look at our Grade 8 pacing guide for Unit 5, you'll see a massive focus on cause and effect and motivation for the Diary of Anne Frank, Act 2. And honestly, there's a very good reason for that. We aren't just reading words on a page. We are tracing the invisible strings that pull these characters in entirely different directions. Let's define our terms so we're all speaking the exact same investigative language. First up, an immediate effect. This is the direct, instant result of an action. Think of dropping a glass. It shatters immediately, right? But then there's the later consequence. That is the delayed ripple effect. You drop that same glass, and 2 days later, someone finds a tiny sliver of it with their bare foot. Ouch. Drama relies heavily on both the initial crash and that delayed sting.
Now, what about why people do things? Using the iceberg technique, we can really understand character drive. A stated motive is simply the reason a character claims out loud for doing something. It's the tip of the iceberg, clearly visible right above the water. But the inferred motive? That's the hidden true reason we have to deduce through our investigation. It's that massive, dangerous block of ice hiding completely underwater. Let's be real. Characters, just like actual people, don't always tell the truth about why they do what they do.
Moving into part 2, the two-scene model. We'll call this one the borrowed sweater.
To see this in action, we're going to apply our terms to a generic low-stakes model. This way we can practice without giving away any historical spoilers. Notice how a simple missing sweater instantly escalates into a huge conflict over a hidden phone. In Scene 1, sibling A borrows a sweater without asking. In Scene 2, sibling B discovers it's missing and hides sibling A's phone in retaliation. Sibling A borrowing the sweater is our initial event. The immediate effect, sibling B can't find their sweater when they're getting dressed. But the later consequence, sibling A's phone goes missing, sparking a brand new, probably way louder argument.
Next up, part 3, tracing the chain reaction, because it's almost never just about the last event.
Our timeline here brilliantly illustrates this chain reaction metaphor. It completely corrects the common misconception that the very last event is automatically the only cause of a conflict. Look at it. If we only look at 1 minute ago, we think the phone was hidden just because of a sweater. But if we rewind to a week ago, sibling A broke a major promise to sibling B. The borrowed sweater wasn't the sole cause of the hidden phone. It was literally just the straw that broke the camel's back. In drama, causes pile up over time until the tension just absolutely snaps.
Okay, part 4, unpacking character motives. Time to put our drama detective hats firmly on.
We have to set an explicit boundary right here, and this is absolutely crucial for your literary analysis. Determining a character's motive is an analytical step. You're figuring out exactly why they did it. This is entirely separate from making a moral judgment about them, which is deciding whether their action was right or wrong. For example, you might think hiding a phone is incredibly immature and wrong. That is a moral judgment. But identifying that sibling B hid the phone out of accumulated resentment, that's identifying a motive. As drama detectives, we analyze the situation. We don't judge it.
So where do you find that underwater, inferred motive? You gotta hunt for clues in 3 specific places on the page. First, dialogue. Listen to what they say, but maybe more importantly, pay attention to what they deliberately avoid saying. Second, action. Look at what the character actually does, especially if it totally contradicts their words. And third, stage directions. These are golden clues straight from the playwright. A character might verbally say, "I'm fine," but if the stage directions say they're gripping the edge of the table until their knuckles turn white, bingo. You've found your inferred motive. They're definitely not fine.
Finally, part 5, checks, recap, and transfer. Let's put everything we've learned into practice.
Take a quick moment to process this first check. In our two-scene model, what was the direct, immediate result of the borrowing, and what was the delayed ripple effect? Think about it.
Okay, got it? The immediate effect was simply the physical absence of the sweater from the closet when sibling B went looking for it. The later consequence was the retaliatory act of the hidden phone, which created a whole secondary conflict.
Now for our second check. Think about the tension between stated dialogue and physical stage directions. If sibling B's stated motive is apathy, they say, "I don't care," but their action is slamming a door. What does that reveal about the iceberg underwater? Well, it tells us they care deeply, right? The inferred motive is likely anger, hurt, or a desire to aggressively show their distress while pretending to be totally unaffected. The stage direction reveals the exact truth that the dialogue is trying to hide.
Let's recap with 3 essential sentences to really lock in these complex mechanics of drama. Step 1. One event is often the result of multiple building causes, not just the last triggering incident. Step 2. Motives are inferred by acting as a detective, using dialogue, actions, and stage directions. And step 3. Determining motive is an analytical step that is entirely separate from making a moral judgment. Keep these 3 principles in your back pocket and you'll never get lost in a complex script.
And finally, here is your transfer task. Grab your authorized scripts of The Diary of Anne Frank Act 2. I want you to use these exact analytical tools we just practiced to investigate the text entirely on your own. Look past those immediate arguments to find the deeper chain reactions. When a character claims a motive, check the stage directions to see if their iceberg is hiding something much darker. In a place as incredibly tense as the secret annex, the real story is almost always hiding beneath the surface. So what explosive hidden motives will you uncover in Act 2?